Does everybody hear that? Seems like mostly, yeah. Well, okay, one, because it's just sort of not Jonestown, you know, and even though it's sort of like is very similar to it, it isn't. So, I mean, and the reality of like some people ask, like, why not just make a Jonestown movie? Because that story is too big, I think, for an hour and a half movie or a 2-hour movie. I think that you can't do justice to that story without starting in Indiana and going all the way through Guyana. And I think you need a really big palette to do that. I think that it's ambiguous on whether he was shot in the back of the head. It is likely that his nurse shot him in the back of the head, or whether he killed himself. I think it's more likely that she shot him. But I think that the reason I opted to have him do it is, and the reason for a lot of that scene in the scene after everybody's dead and he's walking around is I like the idea of this person who's clearly manipulated everybody into doing something terrible, and then you realize maybe they don't believe everything that they've been preaching, or maybe they do. I mean, I keep it relatively ambiguous, but there's this idea that, and what happened with Jim Jones too is like he convinced all these people to do it and he didn't even drink the Kool-Aid. And it's like, why would you do that? If you convince that that is the most humane way to go, why would you end up shooting yourself? And so I kept that similarity in the sense that I think in this movie, Father is too much of a coward to go the way everybody else is. And he promised them one thing, and when he saw it didn't go the way that it was supposed to or the way he told them to, he was too much of a coward to do it himself. But he was in a drug-fueled way able to still shoot himself.